Hey Ghostbusters fans! Today, we're diving into the wild transformation of an adult-oriented comedy to a beloved kids' cartoon. The journey of the Real Ghostbusters is as fascinating as the franchise itself. Let's explore how this happened and why it worked against all odds. First off, let's talk about how crazy it is that it was ever considered for kids. The 1984 movie isn't exactly child-friendly. It kicks off with Peter Venkman, played by Bill Murray, using a bogus psychic test to flirt with a woman while shocking the guy. And that's just the start. The entire plot is fueled by not-so-subtle undertones such as Ray's memorable scene where a ghost gets a bit too intimate. So how did a film like this get turned into a kids' show? Fast forward to September 13, 1986, when the Real Ghostbusters debuted on ABC, which meant it needed a mainstream all-ages appeal. Instead of focusing on the adult humor, the cartoon embraced the quirky, sci-fi adventure elements. Dan Aykroyd originally envisioned Ghostbusters as a serious sci-fi movie, and that spirit carried over to the cartoon. Chuck Menville, who worked on Star Trek the Animated Series, was the first script editor. He was later replaced by J. Michael Straczynski, one of the most prolific sci-fi writers in TV history. Straczynski's involvement is a big reason why The Real Ghostbusters was so much more than just a kids' show. He went on to create the cult favorites Babylon 5 and Sense 8. One of the most notable episodes, Citizen Ghost, directly connects the show to the events of the original film. It explains why the Ghostbusters uniforms change from the beige jumpsuits in the movie to the color-coded ones in the cartoon, and why Slimer becomes their friend. Another clever episode, Take Two, blurs the lines between the show and the movie by having the animated Ghostbusters consulted on a feature film based on their adventures, which, of course, is the original movie we all know. But why did the show have real in the title? It was actually a legal move to differentiate it from a completely unrelated 1975 cartoon called The Ghostbusters, which featured a talking gorilla and had nothing to do with our Ghostbusters. Ironically, The Real Ghostbusters ended up being more consistent in tone and story than the film sequels that followed, though the show's quality dipped around seasons 3 and 4, especially after it was rebranded as Slimer, and The Real Ghostbuster also Straczynski's influence waned after season 2. But the show had already redefined what people loved about The Real Ghostbusters.